Oh, very, very true. And I've heard in the news quite a bit that the reason we don't want to pursue more drilling or drilling in ANWR is because it will take 10 years to bring this stuff to market. Do you think that should scare us off?
I think our country is so industrialized and so in need of energy, reasonable price energy. We need it all. And I think we need to both do domestic production of hydrocarbons and refining of hydrocarbons, but I also think we need to do the research and the alternatives to see if we can get there.
You know, often I think that people assume we're not multitaskers. And I look at what's happening in the industry, and I see that we do need to develop domestic hydrocarbons. We also need to develop alternatives. Is there any reason why we can't do these things in tandem?
We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We're not pigeonholed into just doing this. You can, and so I think we can do both. We have to plan for immediately, but I think whatever we do now is going to impact over the 10-year period of time.
Would you say that we're in an energy crisis today?
Even those of us who are Texans, the high prices are affecting us. Even though we refine so much of it, we still have to pay the bill. And my concern is country as a whole. If you look at any country in the world and your energy prices are so high, we'll end up with stagflation. We have inflation because of high price, but because of the inflation in energy, businesses can't run as much, they can't produce as much product. So we'll end up in the problems like we've seen before. And I think we ought to learn from our mistakes in the past, not repeat them.
We've talked a little bit about what Congress should do in this situation. We talked about releasing some of the SPR. We talked about looking at this use it or lose it and making sure that doesn't become onerous. What are some other things Congress can be doing today?
Well, we could actually vote, and there's a lot of different bills floating around. Some of them that would not give the states the local option because most of this would be federal land anyway. But some of us who in Texas has benefited from our Outer Continental Shelf money for our state revenue, I'd like to give the states that option. And I think some of the states would be willing to take it up. Now, I can't tell you California or Oregon or Washington would do it, but if they see what's happening on the East Coast, at maybe Virginia and South Carolina, and I'm even hearing more members of Florida who typically don't want to explore off their coast talk about that if we could generate more revenue for the state and also give us a reasonable price energy that would be close, then they're looking at it.
Perhaps these sources of revenue could also help us with our transportation fund.
Oh.
The demand of gasoline, with the price of gasoline going up so high, we're driving less. So we're collecting less tax.
Now Congress is going to deal with that next year. We're going to have a highway bill next year, or transportation reauthorization. I don't know how we're going to do it because I don't know if you can continue to add a nickel or a dime or 15 cents on the gas tax.
Well, we're at $4 now. I mean, how much more can you put onto this?
I was going to say, although people look at Europe, and Europe though has always had much higher priced gas than we have. One, because they also use that gasoline tax to fund their government functions other than highway and transportation issues.
Very true.
And we haven't done that. Ours is dedicated. It goes to the Highway Trust Fund. It'll fund mass transit and public highways, and that's why we're at $4. And Europe's now probably $8 a gallon, or comparable to their leaders.
Well, we certainly use more gasoline than they do.
Oh yeah, well, and I have to admit, I'm a Texan and I like my Chevy Tahoe. I wish it got better than 16 miles to the gallon, and maybe the next one I buy will be a hybrid, but I also know, I like my vehicle.
We started talking about refining a little bit, and you have a lot of refiners in your district. Today, I think boilerplate, we have refining capacity of 16 billion barrels of oil, but we're using 21 billion barrels of oil, which means we are importing a considerable amount of refined products. Is the Congress looking at how to free up refineries for either expansion or new locations?
Well, the 05 Energy Act actually, on the tax side, allowed for fast expensing of the expansion of refineries and the building of refineries. Our biggest problem in our country is that a lot of people don't want a refinery in their neighborhood, but we do need additional refining capacity. But like I said, in our area, whether it's ExxonMobil, Shell, Lyondell, Pasadena Refinery, Valero, they've all expanded whenever they have the chance to do that construction of our refineries.
Well, and do you think the public would benefit from seeing what a new, clean refinery looks like?
Well, from someone who has those in our district, and we do have air quality problems, when they upgrade that refinery, they have to also match the latest technology for clean air issues. You know, that's not only a good job base and a tax base, but it also provides something our country really needs is the gasoline and the chemicals that our country runs on.
Well, and I think that you make a good point. I mean, this country runs on gasoline. 97% of the transportation runs on the hydrocarbon between diesel and gasoline. Recently, we've been adding ethanol into that mix, which has, of course, caused the food prices to go up. Do you think we should be looking at alternatives, or should we be finding an alternative to that alternative?
Well, I think we need to find an alternative to corn-based or food-based ethanol. I think we've learned the price of not only corn, but the corn was a feedstock for our cattle industry, for lots of our livestock, and it's raised the price of that. So if we can do alternatives, and we have the biggest biodiesel plant in our own country. We have a biodiesel refinery in the Houston area. They're making biofuels from non-food stuff, and that's where we need to go in our country.
Do you think the Congress understands that?
I think they do. I think, again, it's an educational process. You know, it seems like a long time ago, but just last December in '06, Congress expanded the ethanol mandate, basically corn. I don't think you'd get a majority votes on the House floor now to expand any ethanol mandate from corn. We need.
What about the tariff on imported ethanol?
You know, we would get a lot more ethanol in from other countries, and it would. Brazil doesn't use corn; typically, it uses sugar.
Correct.
And because they have lots of sugarcane growing areas, and compared to what we can in our own country. In the Houston area, we've always had reform, I say always, since 1991. Up until we used to use MTBE, that was a chemical production we made in Houston, and we used it. Now we're having to barge our ethanol in to have our 10% we're barging in from the Midwest. And so that's raised the cost. We could probably go with our current vehicles up to 15 or 20% ethanol. And so that would get us off of hydrocarbon, but we still need the ethanol to come from somewhere other than corn-based.
Well, this is an election year, so we really do need to talk a little bit about politics. What do you think energy is going to look like under, say, an Obama administration versus a McCain administration?
Well, I think both of them probably need to have some education, because Senator McCain just recently decided he'd like offshore drilling. And Senator Obama hasn't. But I think there's an education. I don't think whether you're Democrat or Republican that we can sustain $4 a gallon gasoline, or even $3.85 or $3.75 or whatever. I think we need to make sure that we have stable costs for energy, and it's way too high now. And I know it's heresy for a Texan to say gasoline and natural gas is too high, but we also have an economy. I have a chemical industry that if natural gas is too high, then that chemical industry will move offshore. And we have seen that. We've lost a lot of chemical industry jobs because of high-priced natural gas in our own country.
So do you think that Senator Obama will also come to the conclusion that we need offshore drilling?
Well, I don't, either that or whoever's the next president may be a one-termer if they don't get a handle on energy.
But the House is under Democrat control.
House and the Senate.
House and
the House,
Senate.
we have a vote margin. The House is controlled democracy, though, whereas the Senate, it's a 51 to 49 vote in the Senate. But in the Senate, you have to have 60 votes for the filibuster, and that's why the Senate is debating additional outer continental shelf and maybe even vote on some amendments for it, whereas we haven't had the opportunity in the House. But I think it's an educational process. I think the members in the leadership are hearing a lot more that we need to have a vote on the House floor on outer continental shelf drilling.